Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. Welcome to Speak On It. 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 Welcome to Speak. 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 Who You With, Kurt Dog.
Welcome to Wednesday night with Who You With, Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With, Kurt Dog. You can live chat with us in the chat room tonight. Want to welcome everyone to the show, listening on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch. I believe IG is up, so you can actually live chat with us during the show. Want to wish all the ones that have served a happy Veteran Day. And matter of fact, today we're going to do something completely different. Want to hear from family members, the ones that have served, that want to recognize your family members, or even the ones that have served. You can actually call in and give praises to your family members that have served, or if they still serving, because we still have some of us loved ones overseas. So you can definitely call in. The number is on the screen. Want to welcome T-Cal to the show. Said, I'm so happy you added Wednesday. Finally a night I'm not at work. Exactly. I'm glad you could join in. So you can actually call in tonight, 972 591 3665. If you want to call out your family member's name that have served, or if you have served. We appreciate everyone that have served and that made the sacrifice to be with their family. So definitely you can call in tonight, and we can try to get this Instagram lined up right, for the simple fact their stream is so small. So trying to make sure I'm not looking crazy on Instagram. But you can definitely call in. I know you cannot see the number on Instagram, but I'm gonna put it in the chat for you, so you can definitely call in, and let's do it. So we have other stories we're gonna talk about tonight. It's a lot, and we're gonna talk about Quawan Charles out of Louisiana. When I hear stories like this, it put me in a different type of mood. So it's not all that good today. So, but we'll make it through it. Then we're also going to talk about that pimp, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, allegedly pimp. Him and his $1 million reward. Yeah, we'll talk about that. And we're going to talk about the school district out in California. The president of it, I believe, ended up resigning because his wife let her horns come out, and she wanted to send out a tweet about Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, And regardless of who you are, at some point, the horn's gonna come out. If you are a racist, it's gonna eventually come out, and it cost her husband his job. So, oh well. Um, but I have a lot of friends that have served, that are serving. I'm gonna call out some of them. Now, if I can't remember all of your name, charge it. It's nothing personal because I know a lot of people that have served and they'll serving. Want to call out Vincent William, Albert Smith, Eric Smith, Tamron Rasdale, um, man, Shedrick Cole. Um, man, there's so many of them. Trying to remember all of them, but all of you, I appreciate y'all for the service that you have done. Um, really appreciate it. It's a lot more. I know that's just a couple of people I named. So, but if you want to call in and talk about what's going on tonight, I don't know if the chat is working. We worked on it last night, and hopefully it's working tonight. I see it came up on mine. Um, but that's this story that came out this morning. I seen it first thing this morning, which was very disturbing. It's kind of hard to see stuff like this first thing in the morning, and it kind of put you in a, well, for me, it put me in a funky mood. So, 15-year-old Quawan Charles, um, T-Cal said her Uncle Galloway, yes, her Uncle Galloway. I appreciate you for putting it in. 15-year-old Quawan Charles out of Louisiana left home and with his friend and his friend mother. But unfortunately, Quawana never made it back home. This happened on October the 30th in Baldwin, Louisiana, which is south of Lafayette. So if you know that area, you know what's down there. Um, I think he was found 3 days later. And unfortunately, he wasn't found alive. He was actually killed. And the report, this is what get me, because they said he actually drowned. I seen the pictures. I seen the picture. Very disturbing. Very disturbing. Because it it reminded me of the picture I seen of Emmett Till's, and his face was swollen. Um, it was bruises on his face, and one of the initial reports said he could have went to a football game. So the police did not put out an Amber Alert. Then you turned around. I guess the mother and the child said he drowned. He drowned, but he was found in a sugarcane field. And from my understanding, there was no lake, no pond, or nothing in that area. And that's what they said. He drowned. But looking at his face, it says something completely different. Now, I've done a lot of traveling in my time, either when I drove trucks or just taking a road trip. And down in that area, how they used to say back in the days, you might want to be somewhere by nightfall. Yeah. But the question I have that is really jacked up is the fact that this parent come to the house and take a underage child somewhere with them without contacting this child parent. And then when you say the child supposedly drowned, but you didn't say nothing for 3 days. At what point did he drown? I think it's a bunch of BS. That's my personal opinion. It just don't sound right. Um, it doesn't sound right to me. And now this young child is gone. The family is in pain. And I don't know who this other parent is or who the other child is. I've seen several reports. Welcome to the show, The Corner Grill, on Instagram. You can actually live chat with us. I've actually seen a couple of people said that the friend and his mother is white. I don't know. But I do know you should have made contact with that child before you took him anywhere. You should have either contacted his mother or his father, either one of them. Welcome to the show, Latonya H. Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. Marcellus, I'm sorry. I don't know if I welcome you or not, but welcome to the show. Um, so that, to me, that's a problem. That's a problem for me, because you come to this parent house and you take their child from their house without checking with no one, which is crazy. Um, okay, if you're on Facebook, I'm hoping I have the chats solved by now. For some reason, I think Facebook be tripping. For some reason, um, whenever I go live, for some reason, they go to private. So like and share with your friends. I just checked it and seen it was no chats was coming in on Facebook, so it's definitely on there now. But at some point, as a parent, you would not want anyone to come to your house, take your child from your house without contacting you. That just don't make sense. It really don't. 15-year-old child gone. And when I seen the picture of him and Emmett Till picture side by side, it looked damn near the same. So it's very disturbing when we see things like this. And right now we are in some trying time. Louisiana, that is as they want to say, Trump country. So we need to make sure we know where our kids are, because they are the innocent ones that won't think about someone trying to attack them, especially if it's a friend. I'm not saying that this situation had anything to do with the outcome of the election, but it seemed kind of funny, smelled kind of fishy to me. And I don't know who this woman was, who her son is, but I know what I seen in the pictures, and it's not good. So, and I see from time to time how they made these threats. Um, Talking about if Trump lose, this gonna happen, that's gonna happen. Well, they not gonna be man enough or woman enough to approach the wrong person. They may try to target the kids. And if it's any kids listening, don't leave the house without your parents know where you're going. Don't do it. Yeah, I know a lot of these kids feel like they grown, but you don't have a ball to pull pee out of. Um, so definitely respect your parents. Don't leave the house without them know where you're going, regardless of who it's with. And for the parents, stop letting your kids raise themselves. Talk to them, communicate with them, find out what's going on. Find out who their friends are. So that's I just been in a jacked up mood all day after I got up and seen that story, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Um, Sound kind of fishy. Where his body was found, the city said they were not going to investigate it. They sent it back to Baldwin, Louisiana, and they're going to be the ones to investigate it. But I don't know if they're in the same parish or not. But most city, wherever the body was found, those are the ones that normally investigate it. So I know that the family is trying to get a independent autopsy done. They do have a GoFundMe page set up, and if you can support them, support them. Um, I cannot imagine losing a child, so definitely support him if you can. Um, he was 15. He was 15. Eva Donkey. Welcome to the show. Also, I didn't see when you came in. Um, it's just it's jacked up. It's jacked up, and we have to do better as parents to make sure our kids are safe. Make sure we know who they hanging out with. Make sure if they online, we need to know who you talking to. That's your household. You need to need to patrol it. Don't let the kids just go off and do what they want to do just because you don't want to deal with them. Find out what's going on. Communicate with them. Show love to them. Matter of fact, and tell them that you love them. Because unfortunately, it's a lot of parents that won't tell their kids they love them. So that's pretty messed up on this situation. I'm gonna continue to um, pay attention to it, and hopefully, once they find out whoever did it is held accountable. Is held accountable, and hopefully this family gets justice. Um, because this is really jacked up. Uh, Trying to think where I stopped at. Marcella said, "It's all, brother. I feel welcome when I come on." Miss, oh, that's Miss Risky as Latanya. Um, I forgot I was logged into my other account. Okay, glad you made it. She was telling Marcellus he's 15. And my stream just did something crazy. Uh, yeah, she had um, the low key account, be stalking folks. Uh, but I have a lot of question about this case. I do too. I do too. It's a lot of unanswers that is coming along because I want to know who is this parent to take someone else's child with them without contacting his parents first. I don't care if they was going to a football game. You need to make sure it's okay from that parent, but you didn't do that. And during this time that we're in now, I don't care who you are. If you're not a uh, somebody who I really trust, my child not going nowhere with you. Especially if you may be a low key Trump supporter, you definitely ain't going. So yeah, I have a lot of questions too. It's really I don't know what to say about it because it's messed up. Um, yes, they have the nerve to say he drowned, but he was clearly beaten. He was clearly beaten, and it's just not right. When I seen the picture of them side by side of him and Emmett Till, they look almost the same. And the only thing they could say, he drowned. When were you going to let his parents know? It was 3 days before he was found. You didn't let nobody know for 3 days, and they just so happened to find him. That don't even sound right. Um, it's not. It's not. Um, I agree with you, Marcellus. Um, I agree with you. It's a lot of people that shouldn't be parents. There's a lot of them, but we need to do a better job and make sure our kids are safe, especially during this time. I grew up in the era when some of y'all may not remember it because I'm a little bit older. Can't tell because I shaved my beard, but I grew up in the era when I remember Clarice Tinsley when 10 o'clock news came on. They always would play, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? And that was because of the children of Atlanta. All those young kids that came up missing and killed during that time, back in the 80s. So it's it's like it's during that time, my mom used to sit us down and talk to us about it to make sure we understood what was going on. Yeah, it sounded kind of spooky when the news came on, but it was for a good reason. It was for a very good reason to make parents aware by 10 o'clock, your kids should be in the house. Now, kids come and go as they please. We need to stop that. Need to break that chain and be parents to our kids instead of friends. So, if you're just not tuning in, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. Once again, happy Veteran Day to all the veterans. If you would like to call in to show your loved ones some love during Veteran Day that have served or serving or have served in the past, you can call in to 972 591 3665. 972 591 3665. Um, we've been talking about Quawan Charles, the 15-year-old that was killed out of Louisiana, Baldwin, Louisiana. Went missing on October the 3rd. He was found on November the 2nd, I believe, in a sugar cane field. He left the house with a friend and his mother and was never seen again. That mother did not check with his parents to see if it was okay. Baldwin, Louisiana is south of Lafayette, back in the backwoods. So it's um it's a sad situation, very sad. Um, I agree with you, Marcellus. I I could just imagine the pain the parents are in. I've seen a couple of interviews they did, and also the family spokesperson, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Um, yeah, sugar canes have to be dry because if not, if they flood out, if I'm not mistaken, that sugar will dissolve and it won't taste as sweet as it should. Um, exactly. That police department had one job. They should have issued a Amber Alert. Instead, they're gonna tell the parents he may have went to the football game. He may have went to a football game. And Risky, I know you just mentioned that, but unfortunately, when it come down to the black community, we do not get the same treatment as any other community. They will find an excuse to say maybe they doing this, maybe they doing that. Well, if you do your job, we can eliminate everything else. It's better to do your job and find out everything is okay, or not do your job and it end in a situation like this. I'm not saying putting out an Amber Alert would have solved the problem, but it probably could have made a difference in this outcome, because who knows when the boy was killed? Nobody knows but the person that did it. But then again, in that area, it's one of those situations where they probably all knew what was going on, including the police. I don't know for sure, but I know that in that area, it's not it's not good. Like I say all the time on the show, sometimes they put down their sheets, they put on uniforms, or they put on robes. If anything, why they need to be questioning this parent. Why would you go and pick a child up without checking with his parent? That's suspicious alone. So it's it's crazy. It's really crazy. Um, we do not get. They feel like our life is not worth enough to spend the money on the resource to protect us as if you would anybody else, and it's sickening. Yes, I agree with you. We should know everything that is going on with our kids. They get upset. Oh, well, you in my house. What bills are you paying? Matter of fact, I'm probably paying the phone bill that you on social media with. I'm not your friend, I'm your parent. And that's one of the biggest problems. People today, they treat they kids as if they are your friend. That's from the fact of another part of after my generation, we started having babies, where it was a high pregnancy rate, where 12, 13, 14-year-old girls getting pregnant. And if you only 12, 13, 14 years older than your child, and you're a child when you have it, only thing you're going to do is treat them like a child. You're going to treat them like your friend because you have the same mindset. Now, I'm not saying that's the situation with everybody, so please don't think that. I'm just saying we have to show love to our kids. We have to make sure we're there for them. Talk to them. Talk to them. Don't be sitting up on TikTok and your kids in there depressed and need someone to talk to. They're going to turn to somebody who's going to listen. You should be the first person they come and talk to. Um, I agree with you, Marcellus. We need to be very nosy. Pay attention to everything going on with your kids. All right, Eve. I'm gonna let you have that because I need that laugh. So I definitely do. Um, I don't too much agree with that. I think on this one, Evil, um, he said, I don't know. I disagree with which is Smitty, which is Marcellus. I feel like more controlling the parent are the more wildly the kids become. I don't agree with that. Now, if you waiting until a child become a teenager to try to steer them the wrong way, it's too late. You have to be able to start early in life, laying that foundation for that child. And I'm not talking about because the thing is, if you start early, when they become teenagers, they're going to follow the path that you already laid down. You're not going to have to try to force them to do something because they already used to it. And you definitely don't have to whoop a child all the time. Uh, but if you started early and show that child love from the beginning, it will make a difference when they become teenagers and when they become grown people. It will make a difference. You correct them when they wrong, they'll respect it. You can take now kids have shoot 40-inch flat screens in their bedroom. Every video game that came out, whatever they want, they had their own Netflix account and all of this, but it's no family time. And that's what we need to stop doing. And that's across the board with every race. That's why we hear used to well, we haven't heard about it this year because of the pandemic, but that was one reason why all these school shootings will happen. People didn't know what was going on with their kids. So we need to take a stand and make sure we're showing our kids love from the day they was born. Matter of fact, from the time they was conceived, show them love until the day you take your last breath. And that will be passed down to their kids. So yeah, we have to start early. Um, I agree with you, Marcella. T. Cal said it's sad the way we are treated and we are seen. Yes, that's why we fight for justice. That's the reason why, because it should be across the board. We pay our taxes just like everybody else. Well, I won't say everybody, but just like most working Americans, we pay our taxes, and that's the way it should be. So we should get the same service that we are paying for. Um, it depends on what type of drugs it is. If it's marijuana, hey, no problem. But if it's that hard stuff, yeah, we need to um, hold them accountable because that hard drugs is what's causing crimes to go up. It's causing people to lose their life, breaking up family. Yeah. Um, it depends on what type of drugs they're talking about decriminalizing. If it's marijuana, hey, puff puff give. Um, Risky said today is hard to do when the parents are the same age as their kids. That's what I'm talking about. When we went through that stage of parents having babies, babies having babies. Yeah, that's this is the aftermath of what we're dealing with today. This is the reason why you see so many parents, instead of parenting their kids, they're more of a friend of their kids. And that's the aftermath of it. Welcome to the show Bag It Up Pat Dags on Instagram. Welcome. You can chat live with us. You can also call in if you want to. 972-591-3665. We are live. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter. Unfortunately, Twitter cannot chat with us, but you could definitely tune in. Marcella said 2 weeks ago we went down that way for a football game, and I swear I've seen so many rebel flags. So yeah, like I said, Trump country. And you can't tell what the next person got on their mind. So the closer you go south, the more hate you see. You're exactly right. You are exactly right. And that's disturbing. We have to pay attention to what's going on with our kids. We have to. We don't have a choice about that. We need to sit down and talk to them about it. Um, uh, yeah, technology have really messed all of us up because growing up, we didn't have cell phones. Um, we basically, you try to call somebody, that line busy, you just had to keep calling. You called the operator and had him check the line. That's where New Edition got that song from. Mr. Telephone Man. You had to check that line, make sure everything was all right. And if you didn't want to talk, you took the phone off the hook. So it's definitely a different time. Um, and then on top of that, If it was raining outside, you still couldn't use that phone. So that ran up the light bill. Allegedly, what we was told. Welcome to the show, Tamarin Hunt Brasdale. Thank you for your service. She was in the military. Want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Um, Said train up a child in the way that they should go. When they are old, they will not depart. They are going to make mistakes. It's inevitable, but give them a good foundation. That's all you have to do with a child. Give them the foundation of the way they should go. It's okay. It's not going to be perfect. They're going to stray away. I've strayed away and done things I shouldn't have done, but I found my way back. So that's all we have to do. And you don't wait until a child become a teenager to try to show them the right way. You start early. Instead of laughing at them making a mistake, you correct them. Say, hey, that's not right. Do it this way. And the child will listen to you. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to. A child will listen. Um, uh, well, I haven't verified that. Um, if somebody can verify that, please let me know. Um, I haven't heard that, but I will check into it. Hopefully, they're not. But I will tell you one thing though. Normally, it depends on the drug and who that drug affects. That's how they decide if they're gonna press charges or not. Because looking at the choices that you put up, I wouldn't be surprised if they did decriminalize it, because those are not charges where you hear about a lot of black folks doing those type of drugs. Now, I'm not going to say some of them don't, but meth, coke, and heroin, that's normally not a drug of a black person. So it's a pretty good chance that may be right. I don't know for sure. I haven't verified it, but that's just like when it came down to the crack pandemic, black folks was getting way more time for crack cocaine. But you got to have coke in order to make crack cocaine. And they was putting more black people, giving them longer sentence for crack cocaine. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what they're doing up in Oregon. I agree with you. They do need help. They definitely need help. But if you are slinging that thing, need to be held accountable. So, and reason why I say they should be locked up, because mostly when they on that hard drugs like that, they're gonna start stealing. They're gonna start doing whatever they can to get the money to supply that habit. And sometimes sending them to jail may not be the answer. And in those particular drugs, you have to detox from them. So it's gonna be it's a process. They could go to jail and come back out, and if they're going back to that same environment that they was in before, guess what? They back on it again. When I was going out um with the church, working in with the VIPs, we would always go out and minister, especially during this time of the year. We would go out and minister to different people for our Thanksgiving feeding. And what really got me, if you go to certain stores in the community that is not owned by us, the local convenience stores, when they have hundreds of the steel um, scrubbing pad, the to scrub your pots and pan, they got a whole section for that. That's because they know people are coming in and buying that to smoke their crack. And that's why we need to get those particular stores out of our community. Because instead of trying to help change the community, they dare to benefit from the community. And that's it. And they don't look like us. They don't stay in that community. Once they make their money, they go. They don't care. It's all about a dollar bill for them. That's it. Um, so um I come on, Eva. I got a computer right here watching this monitor and trying to run through everything. Um, if I get a chance, I will do it. That's why I asked if it was somebody in there that can pull it up. That'd be cool. Um, no, I haven't seen that. I know it was done on purpose, just like guns. Guns was brought into the black community on purpose. You go and put a train, stop it in the hood, leave it unlocked, loaded with guns. Somebody go out there and realize it's guns. Guess what's going to happen? Now these guns in the street, trying to eliminate the black community, and that's a shame. It's definitely a shame that this type of stuff still goes on today. It goes on all the time. Um, so that's nothing new. They have done this for many of years, for decades. They have done this to bring things into our community to try to get us to steal them. And now they have all these guns and drugs on the street. And then um, also, I seen a video this morning from it was a Klansman sitting there talking about black folks are doing what they want them to do. Only thing they have to do is um, only thing they have to do is bring liquor, weed, and bring liquor, drugs, and guns in the neighborhood, and it'll take care of themselves. He even mentioned Chicago. He said, "Look at Chicago. Why do we need to go up there and do it? Only thing we have to do is put guns out on the street, give them some liquor and drugs. It's over." And from that point, it's they're gonna end up killing themselves. And that's something else we need to stop doing. We need to stop killing ourselves over petty things. Over petty things. Because what's going to happen, you're going to eventually get caught. And when you get caught, your life is gone too. Then you probably be sitting up in the courtroom crying and turn around and what you crying for? You did the crime. Why not? Go on and take your punishment. Take it up. Big Bubba is waiting on you. Stop feeding into these things, destroying ourselves. That's all we're doing. We're destroying ourselves, our communities, and that's what they want us to do. That's what they want us to do. I today here in Dallas, um, which I never heard of the guy, but a rapper by the name of Mo. Um, but going down 35 in Dallas, and somebody approached him in the middle of the highway. From the reports I've seen and heard, in the middle of the highway, somebody approached him. He jumped out the car, started running back toward traffic while the suspect is shooting at them. And unfortunately, the young man lost his life. Lost his life. Now, when I heard some of his music, had some good music. I probably would actually listen to his music. It was actually good. Dallas have a lot of talent here. But one thing I would ask the young people that are in the music industry, let's make some positive music. Let's stop talking about uh, guns and violence and stuff. Yeah, that's what's selling, but you don't have to do that to make a dollar. It's not worth it. Too many of our young folks are dying from that stuff. And let the truth be told, a lot of them never lived that life. They just going with what's selling at that time. But at some point, we need to take a stand and say, you know what? Let's stop making these big record labels rich off of our gifts that we have. Let's use it for a positive thing and do some positive stuff. It's many of things you could do out here with the talent that we have as a community. It's many of things we can do. Let's do it right. Let's do it right, because when I tell you it's stressful to sometimes watch the news, it's like every day. Get up in the morning, you might hear about 2 or 3 killings here in Dallas. And they treat every one of them different. If it's in the black community, they're going to talk about it for a long time. They're not going to give too much information. And they're gonna I hate to say it, but sometimes it seems like they have investigated. They don't look into it mostly, but let the news media tell that story. Oh, they're gonna highlight what part of town it was in. They're gonna highlight who all was involved, or uh, what the person was that was killed. But then you turn around, if it's something up north, they're gonna clean it up. The news media is also gonna pull up the person background too. Gonna pull it up, and that's gonna be the first thing they talk about. Oh, they had a background like this, that, or whatever. But you let something happen like that in an upper class community, they're gonna come out and try everything they can. That's kind of like last week. Now, I never heard Troy Aikman say anything, but when that young man was killed a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned it on past shows where this young man was a student of SMU. But then I hear Troy Aikman speak out. We need to find the ones that's responsible for it. And I said then, well, I know right then he wasn't black. I never heard Troy Aikman speak out. So that tells me right there, 9 times out of 10, the young man was white, which is wrong either way because he shouldn't have lost his life. But if you're going to speak out about someone in a white community, let's speak out about it in all communities. Let's come together, come up with a plan, and make a difference in all communities. Don't just speak out when it's somebody that a student that went to SMU. Hell, let's speak out about it about somebody unable to go to school but was killed. Let's come together and change our community all together. So yeah, that's gonna be. I probably should have got me a drink tonight, but I was waiting for tomorrow night. Um, Try to catch up on some of these messages. Um, I did pull it up. Evil. I was while I was talking, like I have four hands over here. I was able to pull it up, and I see that they are talking about doing it. Um, they talking about decriminalizing it to show how to end the war on drugs. That's not going to end the war on drugs. Well, I guess in a sense it would. They're just going to let them do what they want to do, which you still have to control it. You just cannot let people freely um, use drugs with no consequence. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. So you definitely have to be able to control it. Um, let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I stopped at. I'm not that far down. Okay. We should not lock people up for that. They need. Okay, I did say that. Yeah, they still need to get some counseling, some drug treatment counseling and psychological. Because I always felt like, um, for me personally, I felt like um, drugs and alcohol is mental because people feel like they have to have it. Back in the days, like I said, I did stray away. Um, I used to smoke weed. I good at rolling up too. But when I knew I wanted to drive trucks, I knew I couldn't do it no more. I stopped cold turkey. Cold turkey. Still had weed in the house. Um, Still had weed in the house, and but I didn't want it. I did not want it. Um, because I knew what I wanted to do. So I always felt like um, weed and alcohol is a choice. Some people are not strong enough to kind of fight that edge off. That's just like now. If I go and hang out, um, well, not now, but before the pandemic, go and hang out with my friends, I may or may not drink anything. I may take a shot, may not. They know 9 times out of 10, shoot, Curtis ain't finna drink. I look at other things because the type of license I have, um, I know for me, I take my license serious. You never know if I have to get back on the truck. If I do, I want my license clean. That's how I made my livelihood for over 20 years. So I have to keep them clean. So if I'm away from home, I probably won't drink. So that's just me. Um, so I did Google it. I told you I did. Oh, I'm going over different mess. So after all these hard drugs will be sold in your local Walmart, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Dollar General. Yeah. Um, they probably I don't know the reason why. I haven't read the story, but I do see CNN, Rolling Stone, and Vox have all talked about it. I guess CNN talked about it 2 days ago, and I haven't ran across it. So, um, uh, uh, hey, so did you serve in the military, or you were just doing some other type of training there? Just kind of curious. Um, uh, yeah. Um, Marcella says so sad. And when that person is caught with a gun, it's an illegal firearm. 9 out of 10 times they're trying to protect their drugs. They'll get 3 charges: theft, illegal firearm, and distributing of controlled substance. Yes, they will. Um, that's just a couple of them, because if you notice, a lot of these cops, first thing they say, stop resisting. I seen a video today. They kept telling this guy to stop resisting, and the guy like, I'm not even moving. It's 7 of y'all on me. How can I move? You telling me to give you my hands, but I can't move them. And this wasn't a brother either. It was a Caucasian guy that said it. Uh, that's a proven fact. That's a real proven fact. Um, exactly. Oh, talking about in the background of as some on the, you have to have the copyright. Have to have the copyright. Um, Unfortunately, kind of like on my countdown, how they was playing the music when the countdown started, they working that out to get the okay to play the music in it. Um, um, they do it a lot because they highlight these particular areas, because what happened, this happened in Dallas years back, in the southern part of Dallas, like in South Dallas. Um, we had a homeless shelter over there where the homeless people can go over there. They can um, stay in this shelter. It was a man's shelter, but they also had it where they could find work at the shelter. Well, the mayor that we had at the time um, decided they wanted to do other things with that particular neighborhood. There was a lot of empty buildings over there, but what they did, they came through, made the shelter move. Some of the older building, they restored and made them into uh, some condos. And even when the church used to feed down there during Thanksgiving, they gave the church a hard time about doing that. So um, and I believe in giving back to the community, and that's what um, our church would always do, was to give back. Every year it was a big event, so we would go out there, and not only that, we would also take DOP, which is the uh, young man group. They would go out there with us during this time, and the night before Thanksgiving we would spend a night on the street. We'd minister all night. We would spend a night on the street. If some of us went to sleep, some didn't. We stayed up all night and we walked the street ministering to people and inviting them over to the church service on Thanksgiving that was in that community. Outside, we will provide food, always provide clothes for them, whatever they need. We met their needs, and they gave us a hard time, and they stopped that. So, yeah, it's all about a money game. That's all it is. And that particular mayor, um, once she got what she wanted, she decided to leave office, but she later tried to come back, and that's why it's important for us to vote locally. Because when she tried to come back, mm-mm, that didn't happen. So we won't forget. Um, does it feel like they're okay? You will say truck driver, Kurt. Yes, dated for over 20 years. Um, anyone that will run, any truck that will run, that I wasn't on the side of the road, but it depends. I started when I had I started off driving a cab over. I don't know if you're familiar with cab overs, but I think that I wasn't a big fan of a cab over because one thing about the cab over back then, whatever crease you hit in the road, it's gonna follow it. So you get on a bad road and you think you're a snake going down that road. But Peterbilts are good. I guess I drove a lot of Freightliner. Peterbilt is good because of the room in it. Um, I like them. Cadillac of a truck. Kenworth, they're pretty good also. Um, I like them too, but I'm all about if it can make the same money just like one of the expensive truck. So Freightliner, it didn't make a difference. They call the Freightliner a working man truck. So as long as you take care of the truck gonna take care of you. And see, tonight actually supposed to be uh, a Q&A tonight. Ask me anything, but with the stories that have came out, um, that's that's why we're talking about truck driver. Cause I figure that's what Eva is wanting to do. So, but if you got any question you want to talk about, we can. See you later, Risky. I'd call you tomorrow about the same time. um, so um, yeah, I love driving trucks. I did. Um, didn't like driving in snow too much. Depends on where I was, but I love driving. It was pretty good when I first started driving. As long as the money is right, I'm all for it. Uh, okay, but thank you for at least trying to serve. I appreciate it. Um, uh, it could put drug dealers out of business, but the problem is it's gonna cause a problem because if you're making it legal, they still those particular drugs they have to be able to function with it. Marijuana, yeah, you can smoke it, you can still function. Heroin, cocaine, meth, you probably be sleep 2 or 3 days or stay up 2 or 3 days straight. Just depends. I know it been some truck drivers that was on some of that stuff and they couldn't sleep. They stayed up the whole time. So yeah, that's the issue. Um, no, we don't. We don't have the Fair Use Act. Um, we got to be careful because uh, these platforms will shut you down. They will shut you down. Um, Eva Donkey said, I drive a P379 extended hood with a 3406E C16. Okay, you got a old magazine truck going on over there. Need to send me a picture of that. Um, Kenworths are a pretty good street, pretty good trucks. I I like them, but I'm like, hey, spending when you have a truck like that, you got to be out there. You got to stay out there. I'm a family man. Love spending time with my family. Uh, well, of course, now can't see everybody, but we talk. Um, but I love spending time with them um, and being out on the road all the time is pretty hard. I have friends and family that still drive, and some of them don't have a problem with it. Um, for me, I've been on both sides of the business. Been a truck driver, been a broker, so I know the business in and out, and is it. I decided to step away from it, but some of my friends keep asking me, "Hey, get back in. We need you." So I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, but trucking is very good. I definitely enjoyed it. Love that freedom. Um, Going to different states. Um, Matter of fact, I always thought I would move to Kentucky up near the Bluegrass Tollway because when I first started driving, I really did like that road up there. It was beautiful up there. And I always thought about, man, I wouldn't mind moving up here sometime. But I'm glad I didn't. Yeah. So I really did like Kentucky, but I'm a Texan. I I love Texas. So, but who knows if the opportunity ever come, if I find a place that my wife and I is okay with it, we may pack it up and move. Be like the Beverly Hillbilly. So yeah, but I definitely like driving trucks. Uh, I did own some for a while, so that was good. Um, okay. Oh yeah, you got one of those long pipes on them, huh? Uh, we know when you coming down the road. um, uh, okay. Hold on, I can do that real quick. And is it on a website or it just automatic come out? Hold on. That's on YouTube. Uh, okay, I see a couple of things coming up. Um, Hold on. Let me do something like this. Trying to. Okay. The big red one, Peterbilt. Oh yeah, that's nice. With the little sun visor on it. Yeah. You have a trailer to match it. Um, do you have a trailer to match it, or what you hauling, flatbed or van? Yeah, I definitely like it. It looked good. Did you run a flatbed or van or a tanker? I mean a belly dump. So it definitely looked good. It was in the 10-4 magazine. But that's good. How many trucks do you have? Um, uh, I know I can add music on the back side of it on certain platforms we're on, but I like to listen to it to make sure it sound good, make sure it's not drowning out my voice or anything like that. Um, so definitely, um, I would definitely um, look into it. We are making changes, so you never know. You might come in one night and mess around and have some music or something playing in the background. You never know. So, um, okay, what Black Rim? Oh yeah, well that's cool. It definitely look good. It definitely do. I like it, and I love those trucks that are um been restored or custom, which is really good. You can't put a driver in one of those because they're not going to take care of your stuff like they should. You got to be careful who drives though, because that get pretty expensive. Yeah, and paid all that money for that custom job, where that motor looking just like the truck itself, where you could go out there and throw your steak on the motor, let it cook, and till you get to your stopping point, and that steak is ready. So you definitely got to know who is driving a truck and making sure they ain't out there tearing your stuff up because that could get very expensive. So yeah, I feel you on that. Um, we had several stories we was gonna cover tonight, but I'm gonna save them for tomorrow. Miss Risky and I will cover them tomorrow because I'm sure y'all probably want to hear about Dan Patrick. I said when his election come up, we need to get rid of him, and we're going to talk about him uh, putting $1 million out for evidence of voter frauds here in Texas. And actually, it's not even just in Texas. Um, okay, cool. Um, cool. Uh, okay, cool. Uh, yeah, that'd be cool. And I haven't been up there in years, but I do like North Dakota and South Dakota. That's some pretty good land up there, so I definitely like them. And uh, going across that, what's that up there? 40. Going across up there, I always love traveling up there. Um, I know where was I at that time? I went somewhere. Uh, Golly, is it Yellowstone Park? Yeah, I think it was. And I got up there and I'm coming down that mountain and um coming down that mountain and that wind was rocking that truck real bad. I'm like, where it seemed like I almost was getting ready to go over the cliff. And I was like, man, I was on the phone with my wife. I said, baby, this is not good. Um, I said, this is not good at all. And it was raining. I get to the bottom of that hill, it's dry, not raining nowhere. I said, okay. So I said, cool. Went into the truck stop, used the restroom, come back out, still not raining, sunny. It was just raining on top of the mountain. But then I come up and it was the Rocky Mountains, I'm sorry. Come out and as I'm leaving out, I get about 2 miles from where I was. Storm come out of nowhere. Truck rocking like it's about to flip over. I said, you know what? I'm done for the night. Shut down. And then the next morning, I get up and God work in mysterious ways. Because when I got up, first thing I heard, it was a tornado in that area. So if I would have kept driving, I probably would have got caught up in that tornado. So it's definitely um, when God gives you signs, you better pay attention to them. So, but I love driving. Um, I used to have a route when I left Texas. I would leave Dallas, go to Paris, Paris to Beach Island, South Carolina, Beach Island, South Carolina to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Then I worked my way back to Dallas. And that was a pretty good run. So I definitely enjoyed it. I said I want to do a show one day with truck drivers, especially during this time. During this time, if it wasn't for truck drivers, we will be shut down completely because whatever we use in our household, it comes from a truck driver. Somebody is away from their family that is making a sacrifice to take the food to the store, all the supplies we use. A truck driver had brought it. That's why I respect truck drivers so much. Um, I feel like sometimes some of these companies they underpay truck drivers, and they making the money, but they don't want to pay them a fair rate. Just like, unfortunately, when Trump got into office, that was one of the things he changed. Truck drivers used to be able to claim per diem if they're away from their house every day. He got it, can't do it. When you have to donate a certain amount in order to be able to write your homes off, that hurt a lot of people because the truck drivers, all those expenses they have on the road, unable to claim them. So unless you have so many that you can claim it, but that's that's a bad situation altogether. Um, you're right. Our economy definitely depends on truck driver. So if Biden Harris, y'all listening, let's change what Trump changed when he got in the office. T. Cal said you're right about this about their salute to our truck drivers. Yes, they make a huge sacrifice, and a lot of them are ex-military. Um, I know a lot of them that have served, and it is it's hard out there. It's hard. So that's man. This night have gone by pretty quick. I I know tonight I had to get some stuff off my chest because when hearing about the story this morning, it was really nerve wracking. I've been in a real funky mood all day because of it, and man, it's crazy. But don't forget on the 17th, Miss Kincaid will be here. Um, that will be next Tuesday. She will be here next Tuesday on the 17th, and uh, I will be verifying with her. What's today? Wednesday. Yeah, my days are. I verified with her over the weekend to make sure that she will be here on the 17th, and because she said we definitely want to be able to do a show before the holidays, and Risky and I have talked. We both agree we will do a show Thanksgiving night. We just want to um, be able to talk with people because a lot of people are unable to be with their family. Well, I'm family, so you always can talk to me. We can also open the phone lines. If it's something you want to say or want to ask, send me a DM. Um, if you don't want it known that you're asking certain things, send me a DM. Or better yet, if you want to talk about somebody cooking, how they messed up Thanksgiving cooking, and you don't want nobody to know, send me a message. I say it for you. But um, exactly. I know I definitely try not to, but it's so frustrating because we hear about stuff like this all the time. Um, we hear about it all the time. So it's kind of hard when you constantly hear about these type of situations and feeling the pain from from the parents. Um, it's sad. It's sad when we feel the pain like that. So you're right. I'll be all right. Um, so, but you have been listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. And tomorrow night, Miss Risky will be on the show. If you're listening on Instagram, you will have to join us on YouTube. The link is in the profile because the way that Instagram have their computer set up, their stream set up, you won't be able to see us on stream. You'll only be able to hear us. And we want y'all to be able to see us and communicate with us. So join us tomorrow night on YouTube and we can you can live chat with us and be a part of the conversation. Also, uh, you can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, either one of them. If a question you have, you can always yeah, I seen that. Um Trying to get people to buy followers and I cannot take it off the stream now, but I'll report it later, get them off and um so but definitely uh join us Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. We talk about a lot of good things on the show tonight. We actually talked about the killing of Quawan Charles out of Louisiana, the 15-year-old that was found murdered 3 days after leaving home with a friend and his mother. Supposedly he drowned, but looking at the pictures look like Emmett Till all over again. So it's a sad situation when we're still having to um, deal with things like that. Now, I'm not saying something, not saying that mother or her child did something to her, but it just seemed kind of fishy to me. And the evidence don't lie. So that's where we are. So I really appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. As always, I love each and every one of you. Until tomorrow night, if the good Lord say the same,